Welcome to the Nevis newscast for Friday, May 29th, 2020. I'm Donis Wilkinson Keynes. Minister of Water Services, the Honorable Spencer Brand, on Friday, May 29th, gave an update on the water situation in Nevis. According to Minister Brand, the Nevis Water Department has recorded an increase in demand since the lockdowns under the state of emergency in the Federation.
We have been monitoring the situation on a regular basis and have activated our drought management plan, which would result in water conservation mitigative measures in certain areas depending on our water levels in our tanks. We would therefore like to appeal to the people of Nevis to practice water conservation measures, such as having shorter showers, limiting vehicle washing, the watering of lawns and gardens, and checking for leaks frequently, to name a few. Your cooperation and understanding in this important matter would be greatly appreciated. Please rest assured that we are doing everything to manage the situation.
As noted by Minister Brand, a prolonged period of drought coupled with the COVID-19 pandemic have contributed to the low levels of water. He added that some of the water wells are already under strain due to constant pumping, little or no recharging of the aquifers due to the drought.
Plans were already in place to augment our water supply through several projects which were ongoing. These include, firstly, bringing online the developed well at Hamilton through the implementation of a water treatment plant at our reservoir site. As reported before, the well can produce 230 gallons per minute, but it needed to be treated to make it potable, in accordance with World Health Organization standard. The supplier of the equipment and the engineer firm installing the water treatment plant cannot travel to the Federation at this time due to the closure of our borders and the conditions and protocols which they have to follow in their country of origin as well as in the Federation. The good news is that we have all of the equipment on island except for a shipment of pipes and fittings, which we expect to arrive before the end of June. Secondly, we had initiated a new drilling program after terminating a second contract with BEAD due to unfulfilled commitments. But the COVID-19 had delayed our efforts in completing this process.
Minister Brand also had this to say.
We have successfully installed a 400,000-gallon AquaStore glass fused tank at Hamilton Estate to store more water in anticipation of the water treatment plant project. Moreover, there is a proposal to install a 300,000-gallon tank at Pond Hill. Finally, we are at the feasibility stage of a St. Kitts and Nevis solar water desalination project, which include building a hybrid desalination plant on Nevis with concessionary funding from the United Arab Emirates.
Meantime, the Nevis Island Administration is implementing a water waiver relief package for individual persons and farmers for 6 months from April to September 2020. Persons can apply for the waiver at the Nevis Water Department office from Tuesday, June 2nd, 2020. All persons on the island of Nevis are invited to a virtual prayer service for God's protection during the 2020 Atlantic hurricane season. This will take place at 9 a.m. on Monday, June 1st, 2020. The Christian Council of St. Kitts will join virtually with its counterpart on Nevis via connection between the studios at the National Emergency Management Agency in St. Kitts and the Nevis Disaster Management Department. The service can be viewed live on Nevis Television, NTV, Channel 99, NevisTVOnline.com, NTV Go App, Nevis Television Facebook page, and the Nevis Newscast YouTube channel. Chair of the Nevis COVID-19 Task Force, Dr. Judy Nisbet, is appealing to churches to comply with the statutory rules and orders number 19 of 2020 under the Emergency Powers COVID-19 regulations. At the May 28th Nevis COVID-19 EOC briefing, Dr. Nisbet outlined the health protocols.
Services should be for a maximum of 90 minutes. Churches can have multiple services throughout the 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. allotted time, but allowing for 2 hours between services to sanitize the church. Also, there may be need to sanitize frequently touched surfaces during the service, such as doorknobs, microphones, etc. It is encouraged, however, that doors remain opened so that door handles will not need to be touched. And also it's ideal that each person taking part in conducting the service allow their own microphone for the duration of the service and their own podium if necessary. These are then sanitized at the end of the service.
Persons tasked with sanitizing the church building must be supplied with the requisite cleaning products, including gloves, Dr. Nisbet emphasized.
Persons are required to practice physical distancing of 6 feet while going to place their tithes and offerings into the receptacle provided. Physical distancing of 6 feet is expected also when proceeding for communion, and the sharing of the common cup is not allowed. Churches are to discourage persons from congregating outside after church and to leave for home immediately. If buses are being used, the rule of 2 persons per row applies. For churches that are air-conditioned, you are asked to avoid the use of the AC and open windows to allow the free flow of air. Congregational singing is not allowed. Churches should ensure the full cooperation of the members, and church leaders should assign a member or members in each service to ensure that protocols are adhered to, and also to share the protocols and expectations with the members of the congregation.
After being closed for 8 weeks, churches in St. Kitts and Nevis have been given the option to reopen. Still to come, prisons in St. Kitts and Nevis better equipped to prevent COVID-19. The details after this break.
This one is going out to the land of my birth, Green City, Nevis.
Truly, one of the few places that has an untouched beauty that has captivated the hearts of many. Nevis is everything you imagine.
Welcome back. Community health centers and the mental health unit in Nevis has implemented new protocols to protect the facility's staff, clients, and patients. Ermin Jeffers is the coordinator of community nursing services in the Ministry of Health.
Social distancing guidelines are to be adhered to, and as a result, we are now given appointments by date and time to our antenatal, postnatal, and family planning clients. Seating in the waiting area is reduced. Appointments are now staggered and given by date and time. This is to avoid crowd in the waiting room. However, priority is given to children scheduled to be immunized and infants 6 months and under. We encourage continued use of our robust immunization services.
The community nursing services is currently in the process of conducting sessions for grade 6 students who will be transitioning to secondary school.
Parents and guardians have been called via telephone and given appointments for their child's physical examination, immunization, and laboratory investigations. I must pause here to say thanks to the parents and guardians for their kind cooperation.
Meantime, some health centers have resumed diabetic and hypertensive clinics.
Diabetic and hypertensive clients are kindly asked to take note that the nurse at the health center in their area will notify them if and when they are to attend these sessions.
All patients accessing care at the island's community health centers and the mental health unit are asked to wear a mask and to use the hand sanitizers which are provided at the entrance to the facilities. The CARICOM Implementation Agency for Crime and Security Impacts is stepping up donations of basic sanitation supplies and other COVID-related supplies to prisons and correctional facilities in 12 CARICOM member states affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. An air shipment of the sanitation supplies arrived in St. Kitts on Wednesday, May 27th. The supplies included infrared thermometers as well as cleaning products such as disinfectant, liquid soap, bleach, hand sanitizers, and other necessary supplies. The Regional Security System airlifted the supplies to the Robert L. Batcher International Airport in Bastia. The supplies were funded by the generous support of the British High Commission in Port of Spain, Trinidad. Lieutenant Colonel Michael Jones, Acting Executive Director of CARICOM Impacts, who presented the supplies to Terence James, Commissioner of Corrections in St. Kitts and Nevis, said an outbreak of COVID-19 could have devastating results for prison officers, inmates, visitors, and the surrounding community if mitigating measures are not taken to prevent the introduction of the virus in prisons and correctional services. Commissioner James thanked the cooperating partners of CARICOM Impacts, the British High Commission, and the regional security systems for delivering the supplies. He said that on a daily basis, prison staff come in direct contact with inmates, and the supplies will support and ensure measures are in place to prevent and mitigate any outbreaks of COVID-19. The supplies provided are in accordance with guidelines issued by the World Health Organization for the prevention and control of the pandemic in prisons. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, thank you for viewing.
Hello everyone, we are the staff of the Charlestown Health Center.
Today, we will be providing you with a few tips on surviving the curfew.
Be responsible for your health. Choose healthy behaviors while at home. Be prepared. Do not panic.
While you're at home, you can indulge in some simple exercises.
Avoid overeating and limit salty and sugary foods.
Don't be careless. Remember to wash hands before and after all activities.
So, you're feeling stressed, feeling overwhelmed, trying to figure out what would I be doing during all these days at home? Guess what? Let's do some breathing exercises. Let's go. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. That is not all that you can do. You could also do some backyard gardening. Start planting your own foods and you would see what a stress reliever that would be.
And don't forget to eat a variety of nutritious food to boost your immune system.
Remember during this time to drink lots of fluid, especially water, to keep yourselves hydrated.
Practice proper oral hygiene and rinse your mouth with mouthwash or hydrogen peroxide.
Remember, if and only if you have to leave the house, wear a mask. Protect yourself and others.
Practice social distancing at all times.
Remember, be prepared, don't panic.